Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Second year after the introduction of the nervous system and after the steps involved in the nervous coordination, we will come to the topic neurons. Neurons are the structural and functional unit of nervous coordination or nervous system. These are the cells which are known as sensory cells, and these cells are responsible for the transformation of messages from one part to the other part of the nervous system. Like they transfer the information from the receptor toward the central nervous system, then from central nervous system to the basic parts of the body which produce response. So that's why these are known as the functional unit or functional cells of the nervous system. First of all, we will discuss the structure and then the types of the different neurons. Structure consists of main three parts, that is the cell body, dendrites, axon. Cell body is a proper cell of the neuron in which the cytoplasm known as neuroplasm, the membrane known as neurolemma, and the nucleus present. Along with the nucleus, the cytoplasm also consists other organelles like the Golgi bodies, mitochondria, and many other organelles. But here, the specific organelles that differentiate this cytoplasm from the other cytoplasms of the cell is the presence of Nissel's bodies, Nissel granules, and neurofibrils. Neurofibrils are the cytoskeleton of this cytoplasm, while the Nissel granules or Nissel bodies are the group of ribosomes that present inside here, and also rough endoplasmic reticulum. So Nissel granule and rough endoplasmic reticulum are responsible for the protein synthesis here. Means ribosomes are grouped here, are present in the form of the groups, and those groups are known as Nissel bodies or Nissel's granules. From this body, extension arise, that is one type of extension are known as dendrites, and one type of extension is known as axon. These two are the extension of this cell body, the cytoplasm of the cell body, and this is known as dendrites and this is known as axon. What's the difference between the two? That dendrites convey message toward the cell body. They convey message in this direction, while axon convey message from the cell body. The direction is this. So this is the difference between the dendrite and the axon, that they convey message toward the cell body and it convey message away from the cell body. Along with the axon, some cells are present which are known as Schwann cells or neurolemmocytes, are also known as neuroglial cells. At the side of the axon, you must see here specific cells, and these cells are the Schwann cells or neurolemmocytes or neuroglial cells, which are actually present for the nourishment of the neuron. Sometimes the different parts, if damaged, it give material to the formation of those parts. But Schwann cells also release some fatty layer along the length of the axon, and that layer is known as myelin sheath. Along with the myelin sheath, non-myelinated parts are present here along the length of the axon, and these non-myelinated parts are known as node of Ranvier. At the end of the neuron, axon forms some channel or terminals are known as axon terminal, and these axon terminals are known as presynaptic nodes. Means when the other neuron start here with the dendrites, because one neuron always attach with its axon to the other neuron dendrites. Means here when the next neuron will start, their dendrites will attach with the axon of the first one, and a special gap is present in between the two neuron, and that gap is known as synaptics or synapse. So the ends of the axon are known as presynaptic terminals, and after this synapse is present, and synapse, after the synapse the next neuron will be present, and that neuron here will be start from their dendrites. And now we will study the types of the neurons. Three different types of neurons are present in our body. One that receive information from the receptors are known as sensory neuron. The other that interpret information within the central nervous system or spinal cord is known as interneuron. The next, which receive that information from the coordinator, from the brain and spinal cord, and give it to the effectors, that neuron is known as motor neuron. So there are three types of the neuron present in our body: sensory neuron, interneuron, and motor neuron. There is a difference between their structure as well as in their function. As you can see that the axon here, the sensory neuron have only one dendrite and one axon. The dendrite is attached with a special receptor. For example, here it is attached with the skin, giving information from the receptor toward the cell body. Cell body is present in the middle, and then an axon arises from here. Axon then goes toward the central nervous system, and the branches or bulbs then enter either brain or spinal cord. And here you can see that the axon bulbs or terminals are attached with the dendrite of the interneuron, as we already discussed that this must be attached, the axon of the one neuron must be attached with the dendrite of the other neuron. A small gap is present in between them, which is known as synapse. So when it enters in the nervous system, in the brain or spinal cord, it gives information to the dendrites of the interneuron. This is the structure of the interneuron, in which the cell body is present in the middle. Many dendrites and many axons are present in the structure, and that's why it is known as multipolar. This multipolar interneuron give information to the specific parts of the brain, to the specific part of the spinal cord, and then the informations are analyzed and processed there. After processing, after analyzing, this neuron get information from the coordinators, and it give that information to the next neuron, which is motor neuron. Motor neuron have many dendrites but only one axon, and dendrites have branches, so that is why it is also a multipolar neuron. Through dendrite, it take information from the axon of the interneuron, and then information are sent toward the cell body. After cell body, a single axon arises from here, and this axon at the end is attached with the effector or with the parts which has to be produce response, like we already discussed that it must be a muscle, or sometime it must be a gland. So the information that are taken from the interneuron, from the central nervous system, then it is processed toward the effectors. So these three types of neuron, sensory neuron, interneuron, and motor neuron, work together in coordination. After this, our next topic is given, which is known as reflex arc. This reflex arc is already discussed in the grade 10. You people already know about that, what is reflex arc, what is reflex action. So you must be study this yourself, facing no problem. If you found any problem in understanding, you can ask, but this topic must be covered by you.